Let's start with the movie The Apprentice, in which Sebastian Stan played the current US President, Donald Trump. In the movie Monster, the charming Charlize Theron played the serial killer, Aileen Wuornos. Rami Malek portrayed the famous Queen singer, Freddie Mercury, in the film Bohemian Rhapsody. American singer, songwriter, and pianist Ray Charles Robinson was portrayed by Jamie Foxx in the film, Ray. The 16th U.S. president, who played a key role in abolishing slavery but was later tragically assassinated in 1865, Abraham Lincoln, was portrayed by Daniel Day-Lewis in the film Lincoln. The charming Meryl Streep played the role of the Iron Lady, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, Margaret Thatcher, in the film The Iron Lady. Ben Kingsley portrayed the famous Indian lawyer, anti-colonial nationalist, and political ethicist who used non-violent resistance to liberate India from British rule, Mahatma Gandhi, in the film Gandhi. The famous singer-songwriter couple, June Carter and Johnny Cash, were played in the film Walk the Line by the equally famous Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon. Winston Churchill was a British statesman, military officer, and writer who served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1940 to 1945, during World War II. He was portrayed by Gary Oldman in the film Darkest Hour. Eddie Redmayne played the role of the world's most famous theoretical physicist, cosmologist and author, director of research at the Center for Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge, Englishman Stephen Hawking, in the film The Theory of Everything. The film also starred Felicity Jones, who portrayed Jane Hawking, a student at Westfield College in London who fell in love with Stephen and later married him. In the film Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey played Ron Woodruff, a man infected with HIV and later diagnosed with AIDS, who formed a group to find and distribute a cure for AIDS at a time when the disease was poorly understood. The Wolf of Wall Street is a film about Jordan Belfort, a stockbroker in New York, and how he became involved in the corruption and fraud that was rampant on Wall Street, for which he was later convicted. Belfort is played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Natalie Portman portrayed the famous Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, an American writer, book editor, and public figure who also served as First Lady of the United States, in the film Jackie. In the film Vice, the American politician and businessman, who served as the 46th Vice President of the United States under President George W. Bush, the image of Richard Bruce Cheney was embodied by Christian Bale, and the role of his wife, Lynn Cheney, was played by the beautiful Amy Adams. Foxcatcher is an American biographical thriller film that attempts to depict the lives of three people at once, and the turning points in their careers: brothers Mark and Dave Scholes, athletes and Olympic gold medalists, portrayed by Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo, and John DuPont, a multi-millionaire, philanthropist, and later convicted murderer, played by Steve Carell. In the film I, Tonya, the stunning Margot Robbie played Tonya Harding, the scandalous figure skater, her life and career twists, and her connection to the 1994 attack on her rival, Nancy Kerrigan. Her ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, was played by Sebastian Stan. Paul Walter Hauser, in the film, Richard Jewell, portrayed an American security guard and law enforcement officer who alerted police to the Centennial Olympic Park bombing during the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, and the changes in his life after the incident. Richard Jewell. American Sniper is an American military drama film starring Taya and Chris Kyle, played by Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller, respectively. It follows the experiences of Chris, a JAV officer, and his brothers in arms during the Iraq War, in which they served 4 times, and how his successes in the war affected his personal and family life. In the American biographical action thriller Captain Phillips, Tom Hanks played Richard Phillips, the captain of the ship Maersk, Alabama. The ship is hijacked by Somali pirates. One of the pirates is Abduwali Muse, disguised as Barkado Abdi, and the entire crew is taken hostage. Jake LaMotta was an Italian-American professional boxer, the world middleweight champion. He was nicknamed the Bronx Bull or Raging Bull because of his fighting style, and was portrayed by Robert De Niro in the film Raging Bull. Al Pacino plays Frank Serpico, a man who fought corruption in the New York Police Department. The film also highlights his work as a whistleblower, which led to the Knapp Commission's investigation. In Serpico, American independent epic biographical drama film about the African-American activist Malcolm X, who was portrayed by Denzel Washington in the film Malcolm X. Halle Berry portrays actress and singer Dorothy Dandridge in the American biographical drama film Introducing Dorothy Dandridge. 42 is an American biographical sports drama film about Jackie Robinson, who was the first black athlete to play in the MLB. He was portrayed by Chadwick Boseman. Anthony Hopkins and Jonathan Pryce portray Pope Benedict and Francis in The Two Popes, a film set largely in the Vatican and retelling the story of Pope Benedict's resignation. The story of Muhammad Ali and his winding life in the world of boxing, portrayed by Will Smith in the film Ali. Brad Pitt as Billy Bean, with his deputy Jonah Hill as Peter Brand, trying to put together the Oakland Athletics baseball team and scout for underrated talent, using a sophisticated sabermetric approach to scouting and analyzing players in the movie Moneyball. Hitchcock is a biographical romantic drama that centers on a woman, Janet Leigh, played by the charming Scarlett Johansson. In the film The Queen, Queen Elizabeth II is portrayed by Helen Mirren. The film depicts the 1997 death of the Princess of Wales. The royal family considers the death of the Princess of Wales a private matter and therefore does not want it to be treated as an official royal death. Idi Amin was an army general and later the president of Uganda. He ruled as a dictator. He was portrayed by Forrest Whitaker in the film The Last King of Scotland. Steve Jobs, a biographical drama about the life of Apple Incorporated founder Steve Jobs, played by Michael Fassbender, also stars Kate Winslet, who portrays Joanna Hoffman, one of the original members of the Apple Macintosh team and the Next team. Edward Snowden was a CIA subcontractor and whistleblower who copied and leaked classified information from the National Security Agency. He was played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the biographical thriller Snowden. In the biographical thriller The Imitation Game, Benedict Cumberbatch portrays Alan Turing, a cryptanalyst who deciphered German intelligence messages for the British government during World War II. Keira Knightley plays Joanna Clark, a cryptanalyst and numismatist who worked as a codebreaker at Bletchley Park. Legend, a biographical drama film about the careers of the Kray twins in the criminal underworld in post-war London, both portrayed by Tom Hardy. John Nash was a mathematician who made significant contributions to game theory, real algebraic geometry, differential geometry, and partial differential equations. He was portrayed by Russell Crowe in the film A Beautiful Mind. Desmond Doss was an American combat medic who, as a Seventh-day Adventist, refused to use any weapon. He was the first conscientious objector, and was portrayed by Andrew Garfield in the epic biographical film Hacksaw Ridge. Javier Bardem portrayed Reynaldo Arenas, a Cuban poet, romanticist, and playwright known for his sharp criticism of Fidel Castro, the Cuban Revolution, and the government, in the film Before Night Falls. In the film Milk, Sean Penn portrayed Harvey Milk, a gay rights activist and politician, who was the first gay man elected to public office in California. Władysław Szpilman was a Polish-Jewish pianist, composer, and Holocaust survivor, played by Adrian Brody in the film The Pianist. Rush, a biographical sports film centered on the rivalry between Formula One drivers James Hunt and Niki Lauda during the 1976 season. Daniel Brühl played Niki Lauda, while Chris Hemsworth played James Hunt. Master Chief Petty Officer Carl Brashear, the first African-American master diver in the United States Navy, portrayed by Cuba Gooding Jr. in Men of Honor. Margot Robbie plays Queen Elizabeth I, while her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots, is portrayed by Saoirse Ronan in the historical drama film Mary, Queen of Scots. Oppenheimer, an epic biographical thriller, is largely about J. Robert Oppenheimer, an American theoretical physicist who helped develop the first nuclear weapons during World War II. The film dramatizes Oppenheimer's studies, his leadership of the Los Alamos Laboratory, and his 1954 security hearing. Oppenheimer is played by Cillian Murphy. Also in the film are Robert Downey Jr., a member of the United States Atomic Energy Commission, Louis Strauss, and Emily Blunt, who portrays Katherine Oppenheimer, Robert's wife, a member of the Communist Party of the United States. Elvis is an epic biographical drama film that chronicles the life of American rock and roll singer and actor Elvis Presley, portrayed by Austin Butler. Colonel Tom Parker was played by Tom Hanks. Edith Piaf was a French singer. She sang in a captivating, emotional way. She combined singing with acting, and Marion Cotillard tried to replicate that in the film La Vie en Rose. Philip Seymour Hoffman played Truman Capote, an American writer, in the biographical drama Capote. Elton John and his early days of show business and career twists in music, biographical, drama film, Rocketman, and he was portrayed by Taron Egerton. Jim Garrison, Louisiana State Attorney, Democrat, best known for investigating the JFK assassination, portrayed by Kevin Costner in the film JFK. Diana, Princess of Wales, and the last 2 years of her life, including her secret relationship with Surgeon Hasnat Khan, in the biographical drama Diana. She is portrayed by Naomi Watts. Maud Lewis is folk artist, who painted in Nova Scotia. She was portrayed by Sally Hawking in Maudie. Dalton Trumbo, played by Bryan Cranston in the film Trumbo, was a talented screenwriter, but his talent was overshadowed by his membership in the Communist Party of the United States. The film deals with the Canadian Caper, in which Mendes led the rescue of 6 U.S. diplomats from Tehran, Iran, under the guise of filming a science fiction film during the 1979 to 1981 Iran hostage crisis. Tony Mendes portrayed Ben Affleck in Argo. American jazz musician Chet Baker was portrayed by Ethan Hawke in the film Born to be Blue. Being the Ricardos is an American biographical drama that aims to portray the relationship between I Love Lucy stars Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, as well as their preparation for the show itself. They were portrayed by Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem. Tom Cruise portrays Barry Seal, a drug smuggler who later became an informant for the Drug Enforcement Administration, in the film American Made. Neil Armstrong was an American astronaut and aeronaut, naval aviator, test pilot, and university professor who became the first man to walk on the moon. Janet Armstrong was his first wife, and they were both portrayed by Ryan Gosling and Claire Foy in the film First Man. The Babe, an American biographical sports drama about the famous baseball player Babe Ruth, played by John Goodman. Tammy Faye Massner and her story from her humble beginnings in International Falls, Minnesota, to her rise in televangelism and marriage to Jim Bakker, played by Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield, in the film The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Johnny Depp incarnates as James Whitey Bulger, an American mobster, in the movie Black Mass. Greville Wynn, a British businessman recruited by the Secret Service as a messenger to a Russian spy source, Oleg Penskovsky, was first portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch, and Oleg was played by Merab Ninitz in the film The Courier. House of Gucci is an American biographical crime drama film about the romance of Patricia Reggiani, portrayed by Lady Gaga, and Maurizio Gucci, portrayed by Adam Driver, which turns into a battle for control of the Italian fashion brand Gucci. Jared Leto portrayed Paolo Gucci, Al Pacino embodied Aldo Gucci, and Jeremy Irons played Rodolfo Gucci role. Aaron Ralston, an American mountaineer who became famous after an accident in which he cut off his own arm to survive, was portrayed by James Franco in the film 127 Hours. Sigourney Weaver, in the film Gorillas in the Mist, portrayed naturalist Dian Fossey and her fight against the extinction of mountain gorillas. Pam and Tommy is a biographical drama that seeks to retrace the ups and downs of the marriage of actress and model Pamela Anderson and drummer Tommy Lee, portrayed by Lily James and Sebastian Stan, respectively. The film What's Love Got to Do With It attempts to recreate the life of the Queen of Rock and Roll, Tina Turner, portrayed by Angela Bassett. The film also features Ike Turner, Tina's abusive husband, played by Lawrence Fishburne. Centered on the development of the 1964 film Mary Poppins, the film stars Emma Thompson as author Pete L. Travers and Tom Hanks as film producer Walt Disney. Don Cheadle and Sofia Okinato star as Paul and Tatiana Rusesabagina, a husband and wife who, in 1994, in Rwanda, tried to save a group of people from genocide by hiding them in their hotel, in the biographical historical drama film, Hotel Rwanda. Cate Blanchett plays one of the versions of Bob Dylan, the singer-songwriter, in the experimental, biographical film on Not There. Robin Williams plays the life of Dr. Hunter Patch Adams in the 1960s and 1970s in the movie Patch Adams. Dolomite Is My Name is an American biographical comedy film, starring Rudy Ray Moore as the director. Known for his portrayal of the character Dolomite, Rudy was portrayed by Eddie Murphy.